All right, welcome back, episode 3. We will eventually have a guest host later in the episode, but this is our, what is it, divisional round
Yeah,
episode?
yeah, divisional round.
Um, so, well, the Ravens game is second, but I'm just going to mention real quick that playoff Lamar is officially back.
Let's save that for that section. I don't really want to think about it. Not yet. Not yet.
All right, Packers Rams. Is
Okay.
that anything other than what you expected?
Um, I expected the Packers to win, but I expected them to win by more. I think it was like maybe third or fourth quarter when the Rams scored that one touchdown with Akers, which actually felt like they had a chance to win.
I
But
mean, the
I mean,
Rams
it
offense
wasn't like
was, yeah.
you can go. You can go.
I mean, like, the Rams offense wasn't bad. Like, they
Yeah,
didn't look bad.
Yeah, Goff was making good throws. Akers again was doing a great.
Yeah,
That rookie,
Akers had 90 yards on the game, and then a
that is
touchdown.
a touchdown for a rookie. That's like really good stats for postseason, like already in his first year.
And Goff didn't have great yardage, but he went 21 for 27. Like, that's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Not that many attempts, but good. More than Lamar, but
I think it really hurt him that Cooper Kupp was injured.
yeah. But I believe Woods stepped up. Was it Woods who stepped up on receiving?
I mean, yeah. Woods, Reynolds, and Jefferson. I think Van Jefferson's got a good opportunity to be real good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rookie this year, but he's played really well.
Yeah.
Especially when it matters. He's kind of showed up when other guys haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I think him and Cam Akers are both guys that, like, nobody really saw that happening. But
Yeah.
they're both good.
Was any of them first rounders?
I don't think so.
That's crazy. That's some good talent they have right there.
But,
Can develop.
I mean, the Packers' offense was almost unstoppable.
Yeah.
They had 484 total yards of offense.
Yeah, they ran the ball. I think Jones had like a 6-yard run too.
Yeah, all their running backs and their offensive line played really, really well.
Really well. And then Devontae Adams he wasn't that big in the game, but still like he made Rodgers like every receiver did good. Tunyon, Adams, that other tight end that they have.
Alan Lazard almost had 100 yards on the game.
Yeah, he did too. He made up for it during the fourth quarter for that one drop that he had.
Yeah, he had that drop, and then he caught. Honestly, that was a better catch than the one that he dropped. Would have been.
So damn that's the Packers for you. They really are unstoppable. I think it's the new coach for sure.
Yeah, I never really understood why he got so much heat when he was coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think he's like 7 losses total.
Yeah,
in his first 2 years.
Like that's great. Like Mike McCarthy was really holding Rodgers back.
And like they haven't had to draft first round guys to build around Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. That man's just talented.
Like they got Lazard off the Jags practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Tunyon was a late round guy, I think. And
yeah.
I mean, they're running backs. Now that they've got multiple running backs, they can get some of the weight off of Rodgers' shoulders. Because like they all played well, and A.J. Dillon only had 6 carries because he got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
But Aaron Jones was 14 for 99, and Jamal Williams was 12 for 65. Like, if you can have a 2 like you can have a deep running back room, it kind of doesn't matter. If you can have guys that are just kind of ready whenever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Browns kind of tried to do that this weekend with Kareem Hunt, and I think they should probably start doing it next year. This is where they'll run one guy for a lot of the game and then bring in somebody that's completely fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, they have perfect. And the O-line is so good. Probably top 3, I think, in the NFL for O-line.
I think Rodgers only got hit once. He didn't get sacked, but maybe hit one time.
Yeah, definitely one of the better O-lines besides the Bills. Bills have a pretty good one as well.
I think the Bucs have a pretty good O-line too.
Well, Brady got sacked a few times in that game anyway.
Yeah, he did, but Tristan Wirfs is going to be good. Ali Marpet's really good. I think the better O-line is also kind of why the Packers have gotten better.
Yeah. Roger has that protection and time in the pocket to make those deep throws to Adams and Lazard and stuff.
Because he can hit the underneath stuff, but he's more of a spread offense, deep throw kind of guy.
And those slot passes to Adams are so deadly.
And I really don't get why Packers fans complain for so long. I think we covered this last week too, about how they talk about how they haven't drafted a first-round offensive guy.
Yeah.
Like skill position player, but like nobody on the receiving core except I think Devontae Adams is a first-round pick. And Rodgers can just kind of hit whoever the hell he wants to. He's got.
I don't know why.
He's pretty obvious. He trusts Lazard. Robert Tonyan's a really good tight end.
Oh yeah, they have good connection. Tonyan and Rodgers.
He's got a lot of guys that he can connect really well with.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jalen Ramsey disappeared.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they didn't throw towards him, but I mean, he should have been on Devontae Adams the entire game.
Yeah, he wasn't on him that much, is what I noticed as well. And he got mad that one play, I think, when Adams caught the touchdown, the first touchdown.
Yeah, but I don't know that you can blame the other guy because, I mean, maybe he's supposed to come out and cover if somebody motions out wide, but I mean, if you're playing man-to-man on that guy, then you got to be there.
Exactly.
Like, you can't just expect support from somebody else. You know that that's your guy.
Yeah. But if they were to fix up their team, it's definitely defense, because I don't think the Packers have really had someone good on defense besides Clay Matthews. And that was years ago.
I think their defense played fairly well. But I think they were also kind of letting the Rams back into the game at the same time.
Yeah. They never had a good defense. I don't think the Packers ever had one.
Not really. Their pass rush is kind of strong. But, yeah, their linebackers have kind of been lacking since Clay Matthews and A.J. Hawk left. They've started working on their secondary, so that's gotten better with Kevin King and Jair Alexander. And I think the Rams probably need to work on their offensive line the most.
And make sure Goff is healthy. Like, if they have a healthy team, they'll be good.
Yeah. Goff didn't get really hit that much, but when he did, it was just like stuff that you can easily block up.
Yeah.
Like, there were a couple times, I think it was Andrew Whitworth. He's by far the oldest guy on that line. He kept getting beat. So I think he's probably a guy to find a replacement for. Not that he needs replaced immediately, but somebody that can take that place because he's kind of aging out of that.
Yeah. But it was a decent game. It wasn't boring, but it also wasn't all that. You know?
Yeah, I think both teams' offenses played well. The Rams need to work on the defense.
Yeah.
For as much attention as their defense gets with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, it wasn't there.
Like, if they can't stop them, I don't think anyone can.
And I think it definitely hurt him that Aaron Donald wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
But even when he was in there, he wasn't getting through.
I think he had just one sack, maybe. I think he had one sack.
He was the only guy that got pressure on Rodgers, but nobody sacked him.
Okay. Yeah, definitely needs some work. But that just shows that if they can beat the Rams defense, I don't see any other team left that has a defense that could really stop him.
Yeah, I mean the Bucs defense is good.
They're all right. They're secondary.
I mean, they forced Drew Brees into a bunch of bad throws. 3 interceptions.
Yeah. That was crazy.
But yeah, we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good game. It was good. Hard fought. Nothing really else you could say about that game.
I mean, I think just the last thing I would say is it's kind of unfair to the Rams offense that was the score because it looks like they weren't in it.
Yeah.
But I thought it looked like they were playing well. They just weren't really finishing when they needed to.
Yeah. They put everything into that game.
The defense definitely let them down. I think they need to work on that secondary for sure.
Yeah.
Because there's Jalen Ramsey.
They need a lead.
Then nobody else.
Mm-hmm. They need a leader. And Jalen Ramsey's not a leader type dude.
Not at all.
He's a selfish type of guy. Talks. Cares about him, himself. Shit like that.
Yeah, we were talking about how good he was last week, and then he was non-existent this week.
Yeah.
And I think that's just kind of how he is.
Yeah. That'd be a good matchup, though. Or not matchup. Actually, no. Oh, never mind. I thought Marcus Peters was a receiver for a second. Never mind. Oh, I think Marcus Peters and possibly Jalen Ramsey are probably the 2 secondary that talk the most.
Oh, for sure.
That have the biggest mouths.
Yeah. I mean, it was Richard Sherman for a while, but he dropped off, so he stopped talking.
Mm-hmm. But I guess, are you ready to talk about the next game?
Oh, I'm thrilled to talk about the next game.
Before we get into this, I just want to let you know I did cry. That was probably one of the hardest nights in my life. Like, I didn't go to bed until probably 4 a.m. because of how hard it was to sleep. You know, it was so frustrating, okay? It was so frustrating because everybody, I'm telling you, everybody on the Ravens team sucked. It was probably the worst game I've seen the Ravens play in my entire life. I don't think I've seen a worse game. Like, everything that could go wrong went wrong. Literally everything. You know?
So when you say everybody sucked, does that include your man?
Lamar Jackson? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Conclusion. Yeah, I was thinking about it yesterday. I'm like, I'm going to go on this podcast and I'm not going to be on Lamar's dick. I'm going to actually, say truthful things. Yeah, Lamar did not show up at all. And I felt like he was starting to cook a little bit, in the second half. And then eventually he got a concussion protocol. And I thought they were going to let him back in the game because, NFL on the side, it's a business at the end of the day. They want to make as much money, so they're going to, force him out. But he didn't come back. And once I saw the tweet saying that he's out for the rest of the game, my heart just sank. It was horrible. And I was like, Tyler.
You thought he was going to play terrible for 3 quarters and then come back in and save you?
Yeah, I mean, listen. If you're looking at it, right, we had a chance to win that game. We had multiple chances. If Tucker scored those 2 field goals, yeah, Tucker too, I'm mad at him. If we scored those 2 field goals, we would be at 9 points, right? And the Buffalo Bills were at They were like 10, so we would have been in the lead. And then Lamar had to throw that pick six. He had literally, I don't know why he forced it. You could see he forced it. He was so predictable. He was staring down Andrews the entire play. And that's what made it so predictable. And I think it was a rookie, who intercepted it. He had the longest.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the longest.
Yeah, that tied the longest pick six in playoff history, I think.
Yeah, thrown by guess who? Lamar Jackson. And yeah, that's why I'm so pissed. You like watching the replay, you see his eyes don't move. Hollywood Brown was wide open, and we have, I think, the best red zone attack besides the Bills, because Lamar has never been picked in the end zone or red zone. I mean, like ever. Probably has like the best stats in the red zone.
But you don't have a red zone threat besides Mark Andrews.
Yeah. Like, I thought it would be Dez Bryant, but we'd never use him. Don't know why. The man has a lot of life in him. it was so dumb, and nobody could tackle him. Like I was just like, oh, when I saw him get picked, I was like, please just kneel, get on the ground. But no, he kept on running, and I felt like Lamar had a chance to tackle him, but he had good blocking from his other cornerback.
So that's what I always like watching on interception returns is how much everybody actually wants to block.
Yeah. They actually worked as a team, and he brought it all the way. Lamar almost had him, but then the other guy was there. But yeah, like I was saying, if that pick six never happened and, he took his time and possibly, threw it out of bounds or something like that, we would have had 3 points and we would have been what? We would have been 12. Yeah, it would have been 12 to 10. And then I think it was it was third quarter that happened. We had plenty of time. We would have been in the lead. Our defense really carried that game, to be honest.
You guys outgained the Bills by 120 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And you held them to 32 rushing yards.
Yeah, so we did pretty decent. It's just we started letting up and Diggs started cooking in the third and fourth quarter.
Well, it was kind of what my projection was last week, I think, was that your defense was going to show up, but your offense wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
I don't know why. I had more faith in our offense than our defense. I was the total opposite. I was like, they're not going to cover Diggs. They're going to score points, but we're also going to score points as well because, we have the best rushing attack. But surprisingly, the Bills defense showed up. It was crazy. The Bills defense really did. They kept a spy on Lamar at all times, so Lamar barely ran for not as many yards. Our center fucked us so fucking hard, dude.
Yeah, every time that it looked like you guys were starting to move the ball well, it would go back 15 yards.
Exactly. And it was our secondary one. Our first one was Skura, and he had a problem with it, so we benched him. And then we had Patrick McCarry, I think. And he did pretty well for 5 games that he was starting, and then all of a sudden he just started slipping up. And yeah, it was so dumb. And he's the reason why Lamar Jackson got injured. He's the reason.
That's true. Yeah.
He threw it all the way out there, and Lamar Jackson did everything he could to save it from a safety, which he did. He got the intentional grounding, and then he just got thrown into the ground and concussion. Boom. You don't even know. I was so mad. I was watching the game, and then I was also watching a stream with this YouTuber that I watched, his name is Engraven. He does Ravens content and stuff. And let me tell you, everyone was cussing McCarry out. They were talking about just leave him at the Bills Stadium.
I mean, all due respect, but I wish I could have seen you cry.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. No.
Just watch a Raven game with you. It's pretty easy.
Okay. I got you. Next year, for sure. I got you. But yeah, it was sad. And what else happened? We kept Josh Allen. Josh Allen wasn't doing very well in the first half because we kept him.
No, he didn't play great.
No, he when he didn't run. His running is actually he has really good speed for a quarterback.
He ran it 7 times and only got 3 yards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he overthrew Diggs a couple times. He overthrew some deep passes.
Yeah, he was that wasn't his day, but you guys kind of helped him out.
Mm-hmm. And then did you see the play where he flopped and he got 15 yards for roughing the passer? That was bullshit.
It's kind of been obvious for a while that just the roughing passer rule in general is garbage.
Get rid of it. Come on, it's football. We're out here tackling and shit. This is football. But this man flopped. He tapped him. He flopped on the ground and got 15 yards. But then Lamar Jackson gets thrown onto the ground in the end zone, and we don't get a roughing the passer call for that. Come on, you got to agree with me on that. That was BS on the ref's part.
He was already being taken down as he was throwing the ball.
I guess, but still, this man flopped, and you guys called it.
I think almost every penalty that exists now is to help out the offense.
Exactly. And our O-line was so bad. We got false starts. Like probably every drive we had a false start. And what else happened that killed us? I think Morgan Cox, our long snapper, I think that was like his first penalty called on him. I think he got a false start. It was crazy because I've never seen him, get a penalty. And let's talk about Tyler Huntley, this dude who's out of Utah, I believe.
Do you have a problem with him?
Do I have a problem with him? Yeah, I do. I think
is your problem that he played better than Lamar?
He did play better than Lamar, but hey, listen, if you were watching and paying attention, I think it was like it was fourth down, and he threw a pass to wide open Hollywood Brown, which was going to be a touchdown if he caught it, but he overthrew him just by a little bit, but still overthrew him. Which I feel like if he caught that and it would have been a touchdown, we would have been in the game. We would have had a chance to win. But yeah, he did pretty well.
I think that kind of happened to all the teams that lost, is their offense just failed them at the wrong times.
Yeah, that's basically it, yeah. So, like, to be straight honest, you see, like, if everything was working out for the Ravens, we could have won that game. Like, it wasn't, like, it wasn't a big difference between these two teams.
Yeah, like, it wasn't even a blowout. I think your offense it was not firing on all cylinders.
Everyone sucked on the offense. Besides, Hollywood Brown did good. I think he had a couple receptions. I don't think he passed 100 yards, but he was close.
No, 87. 4 receptions, 7 targets.
I'm surprised he does good in the postseason, but he's during the regular season. Who else? Andrews didn't show up as much. Like, come on, the people are telling he's a top 3 tight end, probably top 4, top 5, but he doesn't show up. It was so dumb.
I mean, he was targeted 11 times and he only caught it 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be making these drops, and he's big too. He's tall, big, strong. Like, he needs to be physical with these catches, but he doesn't do it. He just wants the ball right there in front of him. Like, come on, like you have a dual threat quarterback whose throwing is not as good, so you have to put yourself out there to help your quarterback.
Yeah, you really need to go out and get a receiver this offseason.
Yeah, exactly, and someone who can click with Lamar. That Lamar can trust, because I'll be honest, Lamar's throwing is not the best, probably one of the worst in the league. But yeah, if he could find someone he could trust that is willing to get out of the way to get the ball, like a Metcalf, boom, there we go. So I think our best bet is Allen Robinson, but he's a top target this free agency. Everyone's gonna go for him, or Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, we'll probably cover free agency more in a different episode since we got kind of tight on time today.
Yeah, but so that's what I have to say about the Ravens game. And Tucker, yeah, he missed those 2 kicks, but it was windy, I guess. The Bills kicker missed 2 as well. He missed two field goals, I think. So both kickers sucked. It was the weather, and Tucker's, he put us there, so I'm not even going to be that mad at him. We all miss him.
Probably the most shocking stat about the entire game is that the over-under was 50, and combined you scored 20.
Yeah.
Like, 2 of the most kind of visually high-powering offenses.
Yeah, probably
couldn't put points on the board.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, 3 points. I don't even remember the last time we scored only 3 points in a game. Last time, I think it was like when we got blown out by the Jags in London a couple years ago. That was the last time I remember we scored 3 points. Oh, it was sad.
You need to move past that now.
Yeah, we have a lot of work to do this offseason. I know a lot of people are not going to stay because I watched the press conference and I saw Matthew Judon, the way he was talking, you could tell he wants out of Baltimore. And he's put up a good resume this year, so yeah. We could talk about that in another episode, but yeah. Anything else you have to say about the Bills-Ravens game? because I did cry. It was very sad.
I just think your biggest issue is receivers. You need somebody bigger.
Yeah. And it was crazy because you could hear in my apartment building that I live in, like on top of us, people screaming like angry, like super angry, because everyone was watching this game. Everybody. it's whatever. But that's the next game. Was it? No, it was. Yeah, it was Browns Chiefs.
Yep.
What do I have to say?
I thought the Browns were going to pull it off, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Browns really had a chance to win that, and the Browns played really well. To be honest, I thought it was going to be a blowout, but they played exceptionally well. Baker put his name out there like as his franchise quarterback. He did well, but I think it just really came down to Andy Reid's coaching. You know, he could really win a game without Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I thought Mahomes going out was going to be what got the Browns
exactly
through. And I mean, I think they only had it like a drive or two after that.
Yeah,
they scored on one and they punted on the next one, never got the ball back.
Yeah, I don't know why they punted on that. That was such a dumb decision. Like, come on. I think what was it, like 4th and 3, 4th and 5, something like that?
I think it was like 4th and 8 or 9.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 3rd and 11, and they ran some dump off play.
Oh.
And they were inside their own, I think 35. I guess it makes sense with the time that was left on the clock that you would trust your defense and punt it, but
that was their game to win. You know, when I saw Mahomes go down and then you saw him wobbling to get back up, I'm like, oh snap! Like I felt bad. Yeah, Mahomes is he's a great guy. You know, it's hard to hate him. He's really good. But
so did you see anywhere on that play where his head hit anything?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, how did his hit? Like, I guess like he got grabbed, like he's put his arm around his neck or whatever.
Was it like his head snapping back or something? Because I didn't see his the defender didn't make contact with his head, and then I didn't see his head hit the ground.
Neck, throwing him down. Maybe just like him on top of him or something like that. I don't know.
Like I never saw like a hit to the head, so I thought like right away that he did something to his leg. Because I wasn't seeing they didn't zoom in on his face until after I kind of guessed that, and I mean the way he was wobbling, it looked like he broke his fucking leg.
I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. Like that was a pretty big hit, but nothing towards the head. He just got hit really hard, and he was just wobbly because it was a big hit. I don't know why he ran that, putting himself in danger like that.
Yeah, I didn't really think that was a good play call.
You know, you have Le'Veon Bell, probably one of the better. I mean, he hasn't really showed up this year, but
Bell only had 2 touches yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know why they should use him more. Like that's why they brought him. You know, he was great on the Steelers.
I mean, they went back to Damian Williams, who, in my opinion, is the guy that won them the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who should have probably been MVP of the Super Bowl, but when Patrick Mahomes is on your team, you don't get to get awards.
Yeah, he's the center of attention. Him or Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Williams played really well. I don't get why they didn't use him more during the regular season.
Yeah, I mean they still went what 14-1, 15-1 something.
Yeah, 14-2, 14-1 with the starters.
Yeah, so they did really good. So either way, and if the Browns were Kelsey, I saw he threw a few passes to Kelsey where he was literally wide open. They should have had somebody covering him.
Yeah, they did. They didn't cover Kelsey well at all. He was open over the middle way too often.
Who was Denzel Ward on? Hill?
Probably on Hill or Hardman.
Yeah, that's Hartman and Robinson are 2 really good receivers.
I think that's what puts kind of the Chiefs receiving core ahead of at least who's in their division, because they got guys that are fast, but they got guys that can also catch.
Oh yeah, for sure. They all got hands.
It's like John Gruden likes to draft people that are fast.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter what they can do other than that.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Tyreek Hill and McCole Hardman are probably two of the fastest guys in the league.
Yeah.
And they can do stuff after the catch.
Exactly.
Which I think puts them above.
I don't see a better receiving core besides possibly maybe the Steelers or the Seahawks with a better or like with a receiving core that's just as good as theirs.
Yeah, it's got to be the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chiefs are number one for sure, and then possibly the Steelers second because they also have a good receiving core. It's just Ben wasn't all that.
I mean, they need to work on their hands. That's for sure.
Yeah, the drops killed them definitely towards the end of the season.
Yeah, the end of the season was it was ugly.
Yeah,
that's really all I got to say about that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, the Browns should have won that. And let's talk about their substitute QB. Was it Heaney?
Henny, I think.
He did pretty well in that run. Oh my, that was a first down. Not really. His elbow was down.
He was like half a yard short.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was what?
How do you let him get out of the pocket?
Yeah, it was like a 13, 14-yard run.
Like, why do you change up your defense just because Mahomes goes out?
Exactly. Like, come on.
Their defense was not bad.
Yeah, exactly. They did well. I don't think they picked Mahomes. No.
I mean, they gave up, I think, only 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then 3 field goals. Like, they held them to field goals 3 times. They only gave up 22 points on the whole game.
Yeah, and the Chiefs are up. They always score past 30, possibly more usually.
I mean, the Chiefs went for almost 450 total yards and only scored 22 points.
That was great.
Like, they gave up a lot of yardage, but then they held them when it mattered.
Exactly. Like in the red zone, Mahomes was not that in the red zone.
They just couldn't stop them from moving the ball, and that's what kind of killed them, especially that last drive.
I don't know how they let him run like that. And you could tell he's going to get signed by some team with that run. Just that one run. He's definitely got he got recognized.
I didn't really get at first why he would be Mahomes' backup, because he doesn't in the regular season when he played, he didn't look like he would move that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why they weren't, they gave him all that open room. He looks like he's an old guy. He's an older guy he's a thrower. You wouldn't expect him to run. Even I, as a if I was playing in the secondary, I wouldn't pay too much attention on him running. I'd be covering Hill and Kelsey.
I think the worst 2 plays for the Browns defense was the 2 in the row at the end of the game.
Yeah,
it was that run, and then I don't know how you don't see that they're going to call a play.
How exactly? It was a good call too. I really thought they were going to punt that.
Like, you just saw this guy run.
Mm-hmm.
He almost gave up a first down on 3rd and 14.
Yeah.
He's going to get out of the pocket on this play. So
exactly.
And they run that play all the time when they need short yardage.
Yeah.
How do you not see that coming?
Like, you should have at least had 2 people or someone covering that area where Hill was running. Like, come on, dude. It's their fault, We can't really – it's really their fault that they lost that game. They choked at the end. The defense really did.
I mean, Henny was really good decision-making wise.
Yeah. Like, instead of throwing that away or getting sacked or –
I think it was like a couple plays before that run that he had was – like, they stacked everybody on the side where they had Hill and Kelsey at.
Yeah.
And then he just hit Bell for a dump off and picked up a first down.
Yeah, he played well. That just shows how good of a team the Chiefs are. They don't need Patrick Mahomes. I mean, yeah, they do, obviously. But, it's not – they're not going to panic, As a Chiefs fan, you shouldn't panic, You have a good team. Defense and offense.
I think they got a little room to panic if Mahomes can't play next week.
Oh, yeah, definitely panic there, because the Bills are tough. Tough opponent.
I mean, Henny did play well the last game of the season when they sat basically every starter.
Mm-hmm.
But, That was against the Chargers. You're playing the Bills next.
Mm.
You need all your offensive firepower back.
Yeah, and if they were playing the Ravens instead of the Bills, I wouldn't be too worried. Even if we did win that game, I would still there's no way you can win a Super Bowl with a team like that. But the Bills are going to give them trouble for sure.
Yeah, I think we'll cover that a little. Well, after we do this, we'll cover the next matchups after we talk about the last game.
Yeah.
So, last game of the weekend. Oh, you have anything left?
No. I mean, for Browns fans out there, you guys did this to yourself. You guys played good, but that loss was on you. You can't blame it on anyone else. Blame it on your defense and your defensive coordinator. It was dumb. They lost it. Yeah, that's all I got.
Do you think the Browns with Odell back next year are going to be better, or are they going to be about the same?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if they utilize their run a lot more, Hunt is really good. Chubb is really good. Yeah. I want them to be more of a running team, but still have Odell just in case running doesn't work.
I mean, they can be like a balanced team if they get the play calling right and keep everybody healthy.
Mm-hmm. And their defense is not too bad. They got Garrett, Denzel Ward, pretty decent.
Yeah, I think they probably focus more on building the defense in the offseason.
Yeah, and their O-line's good as well, so they don't got to worry about that.
So I think offensively they're kind of set if Odell comes back healthy.
Yeah.
Not just comes back when he's ready to play, but comes back 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Well, next and last game, Saints and Bucks. I had Bucks winning, I think.
Yeah, we both had the Bucks winning, and we were both right.
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, you went 4-4 on predictions, and I went 3-4, sadly, and I lost a bet. Sad.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if I picked the Browns or the Chiefs last week. I was trying to find it in the last recording, and I couldn't find it.
I think we both chose Chiefs because we wanted the Browns to lose, but at the same time, we don't want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl. I think I have Chiefs Packers in the Super Bowl.
I do hope that Patrick Mahomes is healthy. Hope he's okay. Yeah. But I also hope he's not okay enough to play next weekend.
Yeah. I want this to be a good game, but I also want them to lose. My Ravens are out, and I want to see a good game.
Yeah, let's get back to our topic before we cover the next round.
I think this was probably game of the week.
I mean, it felt like a bad game for a while.
Yeah, it was. And I felt like they could have scored a lot more points because there was a lot of punting, even though it was 30-20?
It was just a lot of punting back and forth.
It was a lot. And there was a lot of 4th and 1s, 4th and 2s that they didn't go for. And, So, it really could have been a possibly 40, 50-point game if there was a lot less punting. And the Bucks just beat them. They just played better, I guess. Breeze threw 3 picks, right?
Yeah. Do you think he retires after that, or do you think he's sick enough about it that he'll want to come back?
He's definitely retiring after that. Yeah, you could tell when after he shook Brady's hand, talked a little bit. I don't know if Brady was saying something to him about his retirement, but then he just slowly walked off. You could tell by his face he's sad that he's leaving the game. He's leaving football. He's not coming back.
Yeah, I think he was blowing kisses to the fans and everything too. I think he's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was his last home game in the Dome. Not the best last game with 3 picks, but
No, it's definitely not a good game to end on.
Yeah,
but not a lot of guys are really able to end their careers on the highest note.
Yeah, but he still beats Brady in most passing touchdowns and yards. So, but Brady's gonna beat that next year. So that actually might be another motivation for him to to go another year to keep his record against Brady?
I think it's probably best for his health that he retires.
He focus on his kids because he has 3 kids who are. You could train them up. Boom, you got 3 potential quarterbacks right there.
Isn't this like back-to-back years where he's broken something bad?
Yeah. Because last year Teddy Bridgewater took over for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think it was 5 or 6. Yeah.
And he ended up winning almost all of them.
And then this year, Taysom Hill had to cover for like the same amount of time. I think that also really hurt him last night. It was Taysom Hill wasn't available.
Yeah. They had a good trick play with Winston, but besides that,
Yeah, I think having Hill out and then having Latavius Murray out also.
Yeah.
Kind of made him one-dimensional.
Yeah. And Kamara wasn't all that either.
I mean, he played fine, but
not enough for them to win.
I mean, they weren't good enough. Just overall, they weren't good enough.
Yeah, exactly. The Bucs wanted it more. I feel like those 3 picks shouldn't have been picks because I feel like he was just, how would I say this? He was just so nervous when he was throwing them. Like, he was trying to get these passes out, like instead of taking his time.
Yeah, he really tried, I think, way too hard.
He really tried to put
just kind of forcing everything in there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was looking for. He was those 3 passes were forced. Like he should have read the defense. He had a decent amount of time in the. His own line was protecting him pretty well. So that was on Breeze, and Michael Thomas did all right too.
Michael Thomas didn't do anything.
I mean, he wasn't the best receiver. I feel Harris was definitely the best, but didn't he leave Harris the game? Because I didn't see him after the second half.
Was that the returner?
Yeah, the returner.
Yeah.
Dude,
I think after that second return, or I don't think it was from that, but it was from something, but he went out with like a neck problem, I think.
He is fast. He reminds me of.
It definitely hurt that he wasn't in there.
He reminds me of who was it on the Broncos? Holiday, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he reminds me of him. Little, small, fast, good feet. Oh yeah, he's good, and that should have been a touchdown, that second return. But someone had to mess up.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of like how far back a block in the back can take you, especially if it really doesn't make that much of a difference on the play.
Yeah, I felt like if he scored the touchdown, they should have just put that at the extra point, added it on to like the extra point, push him back. Like that's just the worst thing in the NFL. You get all hyped up about a touchdown, and then just for all of it just to be taken away because one guy messed up.
Like I get when it's like a holding, like through the hole that the guy takes, but like when it's on the other side of the field or something like that.
Exactly. Like, come on, dude. The worst.
And the Bucs, their pass rush did well. I don't think they got a sack, but they've got enough pressure on him to scare him.
Yeah, and they got 3 picks out of him, so they definitely did well.
Devin White had probably the game of his life. 10 tackles and interception.
That's good.
They covered Michael Thomas really well because he didn't have a catch.
Yeah.
But when you can only run slants, I think that's kind of what happens.
Yeah. And, I think the receiving core for the Bucs played a lot better as well. Gronk did decent, on the outside, down the sideline. He was pretty good on that.
Yeah, he had the one drop in the end zone, but that would have been a tough catch.
Yeah. I mean, old Gronk would have made that catch.
Yeah, probably.
Damn, he was crazy back in the day. Oof, I was watching that. Not really, but still. Not against my own team.
I think it's really hard to humble receivers, but somebody needs to humble Mike Evans. Because he acts like he's the shit, and he had one catch, and that was the touchdown.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're good, but you're also, I mean, your stats are there, but you still didn't have the most receptions. You know, he needs to go to a team where, you know, because right now he has competition for being number one receiver. You know, you have Antonio Brown, you have Chris Godwin, and then I think you have, is his last name Moore? Or no, Miller?
Yeah, Scotty Miller.
That's a little good receiver. Yeah, so they have a good receiving core, and he needs to stop being cocky because obviously there's a lot of talent on his team, and, you know, you can't be like that.
Yeah, he's got talent, but he's got to find a better way to use it.
Exactly. Like, you can't be out here trying to like outbeat your own receivers. Like, it's a team game, you know. You work together to win.
Chris Godwin played better. He still had he still had that drop in the end zone, but in the end it didn't cost him.
Yeah. I might have to go soon. Let's wrap it up.
You just want to cut on that since we covered everything?
Yeah, for sure.
You want to go real quick with what you think next week's going to be?
Next week predictions.
Bills Chiefs, who you got?
I got Chiefs winning that, but I hopefully the Bills can win. But yeah, I definitely got if Patrick Mahomes is healthy, yeah. And next, what about you?
I think I got to stick with the Bills because they're my Super Bowl pick out of the AFC.
Yeah, and Packers and Bucks. I have Packers because, you know, they're my Super Bowl winner this year.
Yeah, the Packers lost to the Bucks in the regular season.
Yeah,
but that was down in Tampa. And that was
in Green Bay.
That was just Green Bay's worst game. Just as a whole, they played horribly.
Yeah,
and that definitely doesn't happen this week.
Yeah, so there's a good two games.
But yeah, both our Super Bowl picks are all still in the playoffs, which is good.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, I'll take the Packers over the Bucks.
Yeah. So next week we should have a decent amount to talk about.
Yep.
But thanks for having me. I'll see you around.
Yeah, I think I'll just record the other episode with him and either add it onto this or post it somewhere else.
All right, sounds good.
All right. See you next week.
See ya.